In humans, the heart is roughly the size of a large fist, and weighs between 250 and 350 grams. It has 4 chambers. 2 upper chambers, the atria, and 2 lower ones, the ventricles. A wall of muscle, called the septum, separates the 2 sides of the heart. The heart circulates blood through 2 pathways: the pulmonary circuit and the systemic circuit. Let's see the major parts of heart. Aorta is the largest artery in the human body, originating from the left ventricle of the heart and extending down to the abdomen, where it bifurcates into 2 smaller arteries. The aorta distributes oxygenated blood to all parts of the body through the systemic circulation. The pulmonary veins. The pulmonary veins are large blood vessels that carry oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left atrium of the heart. In humans, there are 4 pulmonary veins, 2 from each lung. They carry oxygenated blood, which is unusual, since almost all other veins carry oxygenated blood. Inferior vena cava. The inferior vena cava, also known as the posterior vena cava, is the large vein that carries deoxygenated blood from the lower half of the body into the right atrium of the heart. It is posterior to the abdominal cavity and runs alongside of the vertebral column on its right side. It enters the right atrium at the lower right backside of the heart. Superior vena cava. The superior vena cava is a large diameter, yet short, vein that carries deoxygenated blood from the upper half of the body to the heart's right atrium. It is located in the anterior right superior mediastinum. It is also known as the cranial vena cava in animals. Right atrium. The right atrium receives deoxygenated blood from the superior and inferior vena cava and the coronary sinus and pumps it into the right ventricle through the tricuspid valve. The right atrium is composed of a smooth, intercostal part and a muscular part formed by pectinate muscles, separated by an internal ridge called the crista terminalis, and an external groove. The left atrium. The left atrium is one of 4 chambers in the human heart. It receives oxygenated blood from the pulmonary veins and pumps it into the left ventricle via the mitral valve. Atria facilitates circulation primarily by allowing uninterrupted venous flow to the heart, preventing the inertia of interrupted venous flow that would otherwise occur at each ventricular systole. Left ventricle. The left ventricle is one of 4 chambers, 2 atria and 2 ventricles, in the human heart. It receives oxygenated blood from the left atrium via the mitral valve and pumps it into the aorta via the aortic valve. Right ventricle. The right ventricle is one of 4 chambers, 2 atria and 2 ventricles, in the human heart. It receives deoxygenated blood from the right atrium via the tricuspid valve and pumps it into the pulmonary artery via the pulmonary valve and pulmonary trunk. It is triangular in form and extends from the right atrium to near the apex of the heart.